See on the clock probably here 10:30 at night, and we ran out of toilet paper, so I am making a quick run to the local convenience store, and figured I'd do a little chat update to the truck while I'm trying this new format. I know it's night. Don't know how this video is going to turn out. Hopefully the audio is okay. This truck that we're in now is a 2005 Dodge Ram 2500 with the Cummins turbo diesel automatic that I picked up. I think it's been about 3 weeks or a month or so now. Wasn't too sure how I was going to like it. You know, right off the beginning I liked it, but most new vehicles and trucks that I get right from the beginning I tend to like, you know, quickly, because it was attractive in some form or fashion, which is why you bought it to begin with. So this has been a different experience for me. I've had a few diesels in the past. I had an F450 dump truck that was the old 7.3 before it was even the Power Stroke, just a plain Jane diesel. And I had a F350 dump truck that was the Power Stroke 7.3. Decent vehicles, you know. They were both, I believe, standard. I also had a 6.2, which is on my channel, a Chevy, I believe it was a 1990 Chevy 3500 dump truck, four-wheel drive, automatic, without overdrive, which was a big thing on that truck that I didn't like for the highway. But that was the, as I said, the 6.2 diesel, which I believe in that was not, yeah, that was the non-turbo version of it. And then I think they had the 6.5. I had another dump truck that was a 2000 with the older body style that was the 6.5 turbo diesel, which was basically the same Detroit diesel with the turbo, and that was automatic as well. Had some automatic issues with that. And I had the Duramax most recently, which also was on the channel. That was pretty decent, had some power, and I had that dump truck for a little bit, or actually it was a flatbed dually that I converted to a dump truck by putting a dump insert in it. However, this diesel truck, for whatever reason, has really grown on me. I think one of the main reasons is something that came I shouldn't say unexpectedly, but kind of caught me by surprise, because I wasn't really, you know, with all the trucks and trailers and machines and everything that I'm always running, it's always just kind of been a fuel cost involved. You know, I think it's 12 grand, you know, $8,000 to $12,000 a year that we spend on fuel between, you know, mowers, blowers, trucks, you know, any small, you know, bobcats, that type of stuff. And I picked up a car the other day with the car trailer that I just picked up. Just a little Toyota Corolla that I'm gonna flip. Just a little car, but it was kind of more of a test of towing. And it did great, of course. It was just a little car and a, you know, kind of a small trailer, just a car trailer to pull. But I was curious about the gas, or I should call it fuel mileage. So actually I just went the wrong way. I gotta spin around. So I hit the little chip computer up here that, you know, gives you your average miles per gallon, and I reset it, and for approximately 30 miles of a trip on the way home on the highway, I took the mileage, and it was getting about 17.5 miles per gallon on the highway, 65 miles an hour, pulling a car trailer with a car on it, which, you know, I never really thought about it, but I do a lot of driving, pulling trailers. I do a lot of, you know, picking up cars and, you know, pulling dump trailer around, mowing, you know, all that stuff. it never really occurred to me. So I started looking back and doing some calculations, and all of the gas trucks that I've had pretty much averaged 8, 10, 12 miles to the gallon. You know, I'd get 15, I think, or 14 or 15 on the highway without a trailer on like a pickup truck. My last 2500 HD, I think I got 16 at best on the highway just by itself. This truck on the highway on a long trip, we're talking 22 miles to the gallon, which is significant. We're talking, you know, 35, 40%, maybe even up to 50% in some instances of fuel savings, which is really big. And, you know, just with some simple math, I realized that in probably just 3 short years, 2-3 years, the fuel savings on this truck alone will pretty much pay for its existence. You know, I've got, I don't know, 6 to 8 to 9,000 or whatever into the truck, and just by having that diesel and driving around with as opposed to the gas, it's saving me that much. Kind of a just money out the door. That fuel bill, you know, it never comes back to you. It's basically just like throwing the money in the fireplace, and that's what you're doing. I'll be right back. I gotta run in the store here. All right, I'm back. So, as I was saying, that's a really nice, a nice little bonus that I wasn't thinking about. You know, we always want the heavier duty truck and the diesel sound and, you know, more power and all that, which, you know, it's very capable and has plenty of power. You know, so did my 6-liter gas motors and my GMs. But something about not making any sacrifices. In other words, you know, this is a very nice truck. It's very capable. It's comfortable. It goes down the highway nice and smooth, and saving money for every mile that you drive makes it way more appealing to me. And you know, this has kind of become my daily driver. You know, I've had a couple of cars as daily drivers, and, you know, I always end up doing something work related, or need, you know, I'm picking up something that I can't fit in the car. You know, basically I need a truck. I'm always doing something. So I had a couple of the smaller pickup trucks, you know, figuring better gas mileage, can just kind of toot them around. This is really the first truck that I've had that I actually enjoy driving long distances. I don't feel out of place driving it. You know, it basically feels like a car to me, and knowing that it has, you know, a decent fuel economy makes every mile that I drive that much better. So as far as that goes, I just wanted to kind of update. You know, I don't think I would convert every truck I have over to diesel and, you know, do all that. You know, that would be great, but they're expensive. You know, the maintenance is kind of expensive. You know, and all that can be figured in. I do my own maintenance and stuff, so it's not a big deal. So the cost of ownership is pretty low on a diesel or a gas for me in general, so that really doesn't play a part for me. But I definitely, you know, and also I'll be snow plowing with this truck. I've got the plow hooked up, all set, ready to go. Just need some snow now at this point. So another thing, you know, saving a little gas that way. I got the beacon light, the plowing LED hooked up and everything ready to go with this one here. So but yeah, so update wise, since I got the truck, I put this stereo in, which is just an Android head unit GPS stereo that put the light on really quick here. That's a nice factory fit and fits inside the dash, you know, to make it look factory. These gauges, when I bought the truck, were up here on the pillar, and I relocated them down here. I got this bracket. It was like $20 to put them down here as opposed to up here. I didn't like them up here kind of at night. My field of vision was the bright lights were just killing me, so I like having them down there, which are the exhaust gas temperature, the boost for the turbo, and the transmission temperature, all up and running and working well, just to keep an eye on things. So I did that. I put This had 315/70 17s when I got it. Really big tires, almost like a mud terrain tire that were really choppy and very loud on the highway, and they were almost completely worn out. I went and bought like an all-terrain, I forgot what brand they were, but a decent all-terrain tire, kind of like a BFG all-terrain, but it's not BFG. I think they were Cooper something or others, but they have the nicer sidewall, the all-terrain, heavier duty, but a less aggressive tread pattern compared to like a mud tire, so they're way better on the highway. And I went down a few sizes to a 285. Factory, I believe, is 265, so it's still a little bit bigger, so it doesn't look like it's, you know, like it's a weenie truck or anything like that. So that those I put on about 2 weeks ago. I think that was about $1,000 that I put into it, which is the only big expense. You know, that was kind of by choice. I could have dealt with the tires I had for a while, but driving this all over the place, the noise and the roughness of the tires was just crazy. So I decided to take the plunge before winter and before plowing and having a fresh set of rubber on it. So yeah, other than that, I've got I hooked up the rear backup camera, which works through here. The neutral safety switch on the transmission is a little bit messed up, so I actually have to hold it in reverse a little bit, almost towards park, to make the light come on and make it switch over to the reverse camera. So I bought a new switch. It was like $36. I'm gonna install that tomorrow, and then I'll be able to get the reverse how it should be in the shifting pattern. So, but other than that, I've changed the fuel filter. I changed the oil once. I sprayed the undercarriage with fluid film. You know, washed it a couple of times, and that's about it. That's all I've done to the truck so far. And this is a truck I'm going to have for some time to come. It's been very enjoyable so far, and just kind of wanted to have that update and let you know how it was going with it. And if you're considering getting a diesel, especially one of these Cummins, they're definitely fuel efficient and so far reliable. All right, guys, have a good one.